This is interesting. It's always a dangerous sort of game. It's a deadly game. When you get into attacking the people that are in the right and are really care about the community, because they'll start to dig.
And dig they do.
And they'll start to look into stuff. So we're going to get into the weeds a little bit, and I'm not a trademark lawyer, and what I'm saying is all my opinion.
And I'm not a smart person.
It's all my
opinion. Not when it comes to trademarks.
It's all my opinion, right, about all the stuff I'm about to say. But there was some digging into trademarks, because this all comes down to trademark and bringing back dead trademarks, Riverwest, bringing back the dead Coleco and Colecovision trademarks, creating a shell company called Coleco Holdings LLC in order to try to legitimize it as an actual business that creates stuff when they don't create jack shit. They just license off to the Flashback was just a license to use the logo, and then they had the first project. The first ones were like 2005. They brought back the head-to-head handhelds. A company produced those. I forget the company off the top of my head, but then they had another company do the Coleco Sonic.
Yeah, Vonnie has a couple of those.
Maybe you can talk about that real quick.
Yeah, they're I actually just saw them again for the first time the other day when we were organizing our library. They're little Genesis controllers, and they have Sonic the Hedgehog games in them. They're just like the Namco plug-and-play.
They're Genesis games, right?
Yeah, they're the Genesis games. And I think they did one of the earliest pure Genesis handhelds, too, with a cartridge slot. I could be wrong on that, but like I said, Vonnie definitely has some of the Sonic the Hedgehog. She has two of them, two separate ones. I think one is called like Mega Drive Sonic, and one's called like Sonic Gold or something like that.
Sure. So you can make the argument that even if they're licensed them back in, what was that, 2005 or so, the Coleco trademark was being utilized. And so you can say that at that point, Riverwest / Coleco Holdings LLC had a proper right to it, since when you bring back a dead trademark, not just anyone can do it. You have to show that you are using it either for your business or for a product. There are things, for example, called statement of use. How am I using it in the marketplace or for my business? Am I putting it even on? Am I putting it on my business? Am I putting it on a T-shirt? Am I putting it on my business card? Am I putting it on a product? How am I using it? Otherwise, anyone can file any trademark they want and have it be meaningless, because unless you're using it, you can't just own all these trademarks. It would be nuts.
You have to have a product. The trademark is to denote a product or a line of products so people know where they're coming from. If you're not using it on anything, it's meaningless.
So that's for Coleco. And you can say, okay, Coleco, there's some projects being licensed for it, going all the way back to 2005. That makes sense. ColecoVision, however, is a different trademark.
Right.
Entirely. And this is all public. You go to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. You can search for ColecoVision. You click on the live trademark. You click on, TSDR. You click on documents. Everything is public with trademarks. Everything is public. You see when they're first applied. In this case, December 2003. It was applied for. Suspension letters, notice of allowances, extension approval. So for the first, it looks like 3 to 4 years, every 6 months, looks like January and July, there was extension of time to file. All right? To file the SOU, which is statement of use. Basically, how are you using this trademark?
Right.
Because the government isn't going to give you a registration of the trademark unless they realize you're actually using the fucking thing, right?
Exactly.
Otherwise, I can apply for a trademark for like 1,000 different words, and if I'm not using them, why should I have the rights to use them?
Exactly.
So this actually makes sense from a government standpoint. The problem is there was nothing with ColecoVision on it.
Nope.
You had the Coleco handhelds, you had this Coleco Sonic, nothing with ColecoVision. There was no ColecoVision products that we knew of until a couple years ago with the ColecoVision Flashback.
Yes.
And then some sort of, well, that's Coleco. Anyway, but this gets interesting. So you know that guy named Ben Heck?
No, I've never heard of him. I mean, I haven't certainly been following him since the early 2000s, because I've definitely never found his shit desirable, or I've never, ever wanted to own any of it.
Okay, well, Ian's being very, very, very sarcastic, which is, if you're not familiar with the podcast, he does that from time to time. So,
no, I really like Ben Heck. I've wanted all of his projects since he started doing them.
Ben Heck's one of the biggest custom console guys out there.
I'm a fanboy. That's why Pat won't let me, that's why Pat interviewed him, not me.
Oh, is that why? I interviewed him on the Not So Common podcast, but we won't get, I have a second podcast. Anyway, we won't get sidetracked. So, Ben, back in 2005, December 31st to be exact, posted on his website that he had created a portable handheld ColecoVision. It was really cool. You had the controller joystick, the nice circular ColecoVision joystick. We all know the buttons.
Ben, I love you.
Now we're getting scary. And I even put the little keypad on the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay? You following?
Yeah.
This was December 31st, 2005. At this point, there's no trademark that is registered with ColecoVision. It's still being applied for, has not been approved.
Mm-hmm.
And I reached out to for Ben for confirmation of some of these dates. So, sometime before July 1st of 2008, and that's a significant date for a reason I'll get to. Riverwest / Coleco LLC at the time, I don't know if it was Coleco LLC, but it was at least Riverwest, which owns the shell company, contacted Ben. They must have seen his portable handheld at the time. And they said, hey, and unfortunately Ben does not have the emails, they were deleted. He also does not have any of the contract that's signed. But to the best of his knowledge, this is what was told to me, and Ben said I could say this. They, for $1, Coleco Holdings / Riverwest at the time, said, hey, they said to Ben, hey, we own the trademark ColecoVision. You're using it on your portable. Why don't you pay us $1, sign something, and we'll let you use it. And Ben told me at the time he thought it was weird, based on his recollection, because he had been doing, Xbox custom stuff, Sony products.
At that time, I think it was Atari, ColecoVision. I think he had done Dreamcast maybe
Sure.
by that point.
So he thought it was weird that out of all of these, Coleco / ColecoVision was getting in touch with him, having not a problem, but saying, hey, we want you to license this out for $1. So he paid the $1. He signed something. They also even requested I think he had a new vector file for the logo, and he sent it to them out of courtesy.
It's very humorous that someone, and this is not a knock on Ben, because I would have been interested that the company would have contacted me.
Sure.
Maybe I wouldn't have looked into it, but a red flag for me certainly now is that they would have asked for a vector file. Why would they not have had on hand the clearest possible image of the ColecoVision logo?
So bear with me here. So you can go to the web archive. You can see the picture posted here. Ben said to me, that's my hand when I talked to him on the phone. 4 cool face buttons, but on the top is the ColecoVision rainbow logo, the famous one. Okay? Keep in mind when he's talking to Riverwest representative at the time / Coleco Holdings, there is no trademark that's officially registered yet.
Nope.
No certificate has been registered. Okay? And this is all on the trademark website. You can search it yourself. I'm just following along. Again, I'm not a lawyer, not an expert. This is how it appears to me, in my opinion. So
It's a pretty simple timeline.
It's a pretty simple timeline. So early 2008, they get in touch with Ben. This stuff happens. He says, yeah, I'll pay you $1. So, either leave me alone or I think it's whatever. He thought nothing of the time. This is not an attack on Ben at all, by the way. This is all without his knowledge. After that point, on July 1st, 2008, a new statement of use was filed to the trademark office. The statement of use said that the trademark was used for current identification, video game software, and video game machines for use with television. They list a first use anywhere date of December 15th, 2005, a first use in commerce date of December 15th, 2005. 2 weeks before Ben put his portable on the website of December 31st, 2005, but then they linked to the image of the specimen. And the image of the specimen is Ben's portable from the website. It's portable ColecoVision with Ben Heck's hand in the picture. I asked Ben, were you aware of this at the time? And he said, no, I was not aware of this at the time. I said to him, to the best of your knowledge, it was what you signed. Give them permission to do that. He said, I have no recollection of that at all.
But this is my question, and this does not make me feel like it's any less shady. Is this the dollar transaction? Is this the licensing? Is this the use of it in commercial use because he licensed it? Is this the bullshit that they're trying to go on, and hence why they're using that picture?
Unfortunately,
it doesn't make it any better in my mind, but I feel like that that's it. Once money is exchanged, once even $1 is exchanged, is that what did it?
However, at this point in time, when Ben was talking to them, they did not have security of the trademark. So they did not,
True.
They did not, in my opinion, legally have the standing to even ask Ben to register with them for $1.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
They
Okay.
had no legal standing to do that at the time.
I'm just curious what the dollar transaction was for, because it seems like such a, and like I said, it doesn't make it any better. I'm just trying to figure out what
You're
the dollar
playing devil's
is for.
advocate.
No, I'm not really. I'm trying to figure out what that dollar was. What was the point of that dollar?
Even if, and this probably did not happen, even if Ben said, I give you permission to do it, which he did not. The problem with following first use in commerce date, commerce means commercial.
Sure, and he's not selling it.
What Ben did was not commercial.
Yes.
And it's a big leap.
Okay, so
it's a big leap for Riverwest to say this was the first use in commerce based upon 12/15/2005 when that wasn't even a real date.
Right, so that's the thing. I'm not playing devil's advocate. I feel like they're twisting that dollar transaction as a first use in commerce because he paid them $1 to license something that he had made.
So this is what's interesting about this.
Even though he's not selling it.
Yeah. So this is what's interesting about this. And unfortunately, again, Ben doesn't have the actual email, but this is the best of his recollection. He had no idea this was happening at the time. So up to this point, again, in the timeline, up to this point, no trademark was officially registered with the government for Colecovision. For Colecovision. July 1st, they do a statement of use noting December 2005, and they use Ben's image of his portable. 2 weeks later, publication and issue review complete for that specimen. And then a month later, they do the publication issue review complete, notice of acceptance of statement of use. Ben's handheld that he created in 2005 was the first accepted statement of use in the trademark filing process on the website.
Eat shit, you snaky bastards.
Without Ben Heck, you can make a very fucking good argument because it wasn't until August 18, 2008, a month later, that for the first time, registration certificate was filed for Colecovision.
Yep.
So you can make the argument without, not even the argument.
It's not an argument.
In my opinion, without Ben Heck creating a portable Colecovision, there would have been no acceptance of this trademark of Colecovision by Riverwest.
They saw an opportunity and seized on it like fucking assholes.
So, again, I'm not a trademark lawyer. This is just my opinion on the matter here.
And it's just an opinion.
All I'm saying is maybe someone should look into this and maybe follow up with someone to say, does this look kosher to you? Is this how the process usually is when you bring a dead trademark back to life? Do you have to fish around and find a product someone else made, or it really should be your own business using the trademark or own product for in this case, Colecovision? That's how it appears to me. Something strange happened. So I would make the case that if Ben knew about this, and if he wanted to at the time, he would have more of a legal standing to have gotten the trademark himself because he actually created something with the Colecovision logo on it.
It should be Ben's.
Well, let's just put it this way: the cart's out, the barn's out of the cart. The horse is out of the barn.
The horse is out of the barn,
and the cart's
out of the bag.
But the whole point is that there wasn't a real specimen. If you take away Ben's portable Colecovision, there wasn't a specimen of use then until 2014 with the Colecovision flashback.
Yeah.
So without Ben's portable, Riverwest / Coleco Holdings didn't have a Colecovision product that they can say this is our brand or trademark slapped on it until 2014. So that's a whole other wrinkle to this story. I think that maybe will be looked at in the future. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe our opinions will cause people to dig a little deeper.
But it's all public knowledge, and, maybe this will lead to Colecovision, the name being,
freed up for better people.
Maybe. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm not a lawyer, and that's all my opinion.
Maybe someone lives in a house made out of stool. But that's just an opinion.